Look, there's a cop behind me. Uh-oh. Hey everybody, it's Dr. Sam Robbins. Today's topic is about the best and worst times to work out if your goal is to gain muscle. And it's important. You would think it's not, but because when you work out, it can ultimately affect your hormones. And obviously hormones dictates how much muscle you gain and lose and fat and all that stuff. The only other thing more important than hormones is genetics. So with that said, let's start with the worst times to work out. And the worst time to work out, and I'll start actually with a story, is when I was younger, in your teenage and 20s, you tend to, I can stay up later and I could sleep in longer and so forth, right? We're on a different clock. Most people, everyone's got their own circadian rhythm and genetics and all that. Some people are morning people and some people are nighttime people. And so for me, I've never been a morning person, at least, when I was younger. And it always took me a while to wake up. So for me, I used to work out, obviously, you're also busy with school and work and all those different things. So I used to just work out at night, like maybe 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock. And then I would then come home, eat at least a couple meals, and then go to sleep, right? But ironically is, you get older, you see these people, like older people, senior citizens having, dinner at like 4 or 5 in the afternoon, while I'm starting to turn into that guy now that I'm about 50 years old. And that's, I don't know, I think it's just hormones and aging and circadian and things change. Obviously my hormones aren't as good as they used to be. And I'm waking up now more like at 7 a.m. where before I could wake up at 10, and I'm wanting to go to sleep more like I get tired around 9:30 or 10, where before it would be like 1 or 2. To make a long story short, if I still try to work out later in the evening, like I used to, I end up staying awake. And it makes sense because when you work out, especially with weights, you rev up your nervous system, right? When you do weights, that's why it takes time to warm up. And at the gym, one of the reasons you warm up is not just to warm up your joints and ligaments and tendons and the muscle and all that stuff. The real goal, especially for strength, is to rev up your nervous system. And your nervous system, once it's warmed up and going, and that's why you do the warm-ups and you want to explode the weight up and so forth, that then triggers stronger reactions and different chemical reactions, and that you get jacked up, right? You get that endorphin high. Same thing with running, but it's different with muscle building because it lasts a long time. So if I was to work out late at night, I notice that even if I'm like physically kind of tired, I'm still amped and I have a much harder time going to sleep, and it lasts a few hours. The other thing is after workout, your cortisol and stress levels naturally go up. So stress levels keep you up. Sometimes if you're overtrained and you can't sleep, that's due to high levels of stress hormones. If your mind is racing, cortisol levels, your adrenaline is going, it's on overflow. Some people who quote unquote get adrenal fatigue, they've exhausted it so much that you're just tired. For example, you have caffeine all the time, you stop taking caffeine, you're going to feel exhausted because your adrenaline isn't working because the caffeine's kind of replacing it. So the point is that one of the worst times to work out is at night because of everything I just mentioned. It revs up your nervous system. Cortisol levels are high. You want cortisol to be high, not at night, but you want cortisol to be higher during the day. That's what gets you up and awake. It's normal. You don't want low cortisol all the time. Okay, you want lower cortisol after your workouts to help replenish, prevent catabolism and muscle breakdown and all that stuff. And you want cortisol to be lower, definitely at night, so you can go to sleep. But you want it higher during the day. Those are the natural systems, okay? And ironically, testosterone is also higher during the day and lower at night. All this is to help you go to sleep. And growth hormone tends to be higher at night. Melatonin, the sleep hormone, is higher at night. And when cortisol levels are high, melatonin is low. So we don't want that. We want cortisol to be low, so melatonin is high, so you can go to sleep. And why is all this talk about sleep so important? Because sleep is ultimately going to be the biggest factor in your health, in recovering and repairing and getting rid of toxins in your body and maximizing hormones. Look, I have Alpha Viral. It's an awesome product, 20 plus year proven track record for increasing testosterone levels, right? Won't work nearly as well as getting a great night's sleep, okay? I'm being very honest with you. Supplement is there to help. I have a product called Stress and Cortisol Relief, which I suggest you take. Again, all this information is below this video, links and everything. I suggest you take that after your workout and before bed to lower cortisol levels. So better for muscle growth, better for fat loss, and ultimately better for sleep. But, you know, all this stuff is required. None of this matters if you don't get good sleep. Number one thing to lower stress levels is sleep, ultimately. That's your number one. So I want you to get really good sleep. And that can't be done for many of us when you work out late at night. Your nervous system is ramped up, whether you realize it or not. So that's why sometimes people who don't exercise, they're tired all the time. Their nervous system is on low. So that's why even if you take a couple days off, you're a little bit more lethargic. Again, nervous system is low. It's not as active. That's why working out makes a huge difference. You want to warm up. So the best time, to make a long story short, to work out is earlier in the day. Now, not everyone can do that. Like right now, I have 1, maybe 2 meals, and then I go to the gym. I got to get in a meal. That's the other thing. Do not work out with weights on an empty stomach. You can, but it's bad. If you have no carbohydrates to use when you lift weights, you can use burned fat or amino acids. And some people's like, you're still going to have carbs in your system and glycogen and liver and all that. You won't. It's not going to do it. You're going to have a low workout, low stamina workout, low energy workout. You're not going to get a good pump. And also, here's another thing. Carbohydrates and, you know, slightly increased insulin now lowers cortisol levels, okay? So that's another thing. You don't want to go to the gym like, you know, empty. So get in a good meal, have some carbs, healthy fats and protein, but you know how much carbs you have, it's up to you. Your genes, I can't tell you. Depends on how low your body fat is and your goals. If you're trying to gain weight, especially if you have low body fat, you can carb up a lot more than the average person. Then work out. Try to get in 1 or 2 meals a day. And if you get a workout before work, go get like a little protein shake or something. Just get a little food in your system, and then go work out 30 minutes after. Okay? Then you'll also be stronger in the morning. Your nervous system is ramped up. Then after your workout, take the stress and cortisol relief, like I said. Now before your workout, take something like Body Brain Energy and Alpha Viral and all that stuff. But the whole point is, then by nighttime, you got your workout, first of all, out of the way. By nighttime, your nervous system is slowly, gotten back to normal, and you can sleep better. That's the point. You don't want to rev up your nervous system at night. Okay, and this is why I also tell people not to have a huge, big protein meal before bed. It revs up your system. So you don't want that. And I'll talk about that in another video. So try to work out earlier in the day, not at night, or definitely before bed. Now you can take a nice walk before bed, or you can do something like that, but nothing strenuous, nothing that's going to really, again, turn up your nervous system. Weights definitely does that. Heavy weights definitely does that. Explosive movements definitely do that. So work out more in the day, earlier in the day, less at night, if you can, all things considered. Definitely, and if you're going to be working out late in the day, for sure, you got to take stress and cortisol relief. You might take a higher dose. I take 2 capsules of stress and cortisol relief after my workout and before bed. Doesn't matter when I work out, I take that. And slowly I've noticed improvements, okay? It's not a steroid or anything. You're not gonna be like, oh wow. Nothing is oh wow unless you take drugs. But all this stuff over the next few months, you're like, hey, I look better, I feel better, I'm sleeping better. And all that stuff allows you to slowly gain muscle. Don't think you're gonna gain 20 or 30 pounds of muscle. No one does, except genetic freaks and people who take a ton of steroids. So, again, take stress and cortisol relief after your workouts and before bed. There's other information about what to take before your workouts, after your workouts, and all this stuff to improve everything. Also, again, after your workouts, I tell people take vitamin C, and before bed, vitamin C helps lower cortisol levels and so forth. But again, work out early in the day, not at night. If you have no choice to work out late at night, then take stress and cortisol relief, higher dosages. And look, there's a cop behind me. Uh-oh. And take vitamin C also. And there you have it. Make sure you also take some carbs after your workout, also before bed. Both of those, insulin and all that, helps lower cortisol levels. I know some people think cortisol's not a big deal, but I'm telling you, the reason steroids work is not because of the anabolic factors. It's primarily over time because of the anti-catabolic factors. Okay, this is why pure anabolics such as growth hormone will never put on anywhere near as much muscle as steroids, because they're pure anabolics. They're not anti-catabolics like a steroid is. And some of the best steroids are very anti-catabolic, such as testosterone and trenbolone and anadrol and, well, just to name a few. Again, there you have it. Enjoy your day, enjoy your workout. Remember, any time is better than no time to work out, but try to do it earlier in the day and not at night. Thanks for watching. Take a look below this video. Let me know your questions, your comments. If you liked it, this was helpful, thumbs up, subscribe, click the bell icon, all right? Because I get people always asking me, how do I do this? What about that? Do a video about this. It's already there, guys. I've done a lot of videos, over 500 if I'm not mistaken, maybe close to 600. So enjoy, listen, and as always, take action on everything I'm telling you to do. Listening and not taking action is like reading a book and not doing anything. You might as well not even read the book. So there you have it. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye.